Hey guys, welcome back. Hope everyone is having an awesome day. So I'm really excited about this tutorial that we're going to be talking about, because if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you know that I've been obsessed with these SMEDIUM twists that I've been rocking. I have talked with you guys about how my hair has been acting up the past few months, breaking, dry, no definition, can't hold moisture, just a hot mess. And I needed a break from my hair, but I didn't want to straighten it because that didn't seem like a good answer to hair that's already not in great condition. So I wanted something that was going to give me a nice break, but was something that I could do fairly easily. So this was my solution, and I freaking love them. I love how these turned out. See, a couple of things that I wanted to mention before we dive into the tutorial. The first thing is that I didn't want to do mini twists because with the length and thickness of my hair, that was going to take forever. These took 6 hours both times that I did them, but it was time well spent because the first time they lasted for 16 days. They still looked really, really good, and my scalp was like, you better wash me. So I had to wash my hair, but it still looked really good, and that's with going to the gym and everything. And I just was like, I'll put in 6 hours to get a nice long break from wash day, and that's just what I need. Small as I would go, it's perfect because it lasts for a really long time, longer than my normal twists, but it's very easy to unravel, and it's not so tiny that it gets matted in itself. So this is good for me. I would say in comparison to how I normally twist my hair, like I'm going to use a little finger diagram. So this is one twist for how I normally do my hair. Basically, the sides of these are the two sections that I use to do one twist normally are now individual twists, if that makes sense. So they're not terribly different in size, but they're small enough to where I can tell a difference in how they look and how they last. Say the number one thing that I recommend is smoothing till the cows come home. I don't use any tools on my hair anymore, so I exclusively finger detangle. So for me, the longest part of this style is smoothing each section and detangling it very, very thorough. And I would say that for each section that I use, you'll see in the video, so each section, I spent a good 15 to 20 minutes detangling it and smoothing it before even twisting it, because I wanted to make sure there were no tangles, smooth it, because I was going to pay for that later if I didn't take that time. So that's in addition to already detangling prior. Y'all know my hair is like tangled.com. So whatever method that works for you, whether that's using a Denman or a tangle teaser or a comb or your fingers, whatever you do, I would say that's the number one thing for me getting like the best results: smoothing and thoroughly detangling. So I hope that you enjoy this video, and if you have any questions, let me know. So let's get started. I keep my hair in a shower cap for a majority of the time when I'm styling to make sure that it stays moisturized. But the first thing I do before I even get started is add a base moisturizer, so that while the various sections are waiting to be twisted, they can kind of be marinating and stay nice and pliable. So this is the Darcy's Botanicals smoothing lotion. I absolutely love this stuff. It's going to be one of my next reviews. Plus it smells like cocoa pebbles. Delicious. So I'm not saturating my hair. I'm just putting enough so that it can stay nice and soft while it's waiting its turn to get twisted up. So I'm starting from the back, working my way to the front. I'm using the Obia Naturals Curl Hydration Spray on sections that get too dry. My Boo, the Shea Moisture Superfruit leave-in, sealing with my Hairveda Cocasta oil, and last but not least, I'm twisting with this Sisters Keepers gel. I think that company went out of business, but it turned out to be a really good gel. So I have thoroughly smoothed and detangled with that Shea Moisture leave-in. Now I'm going to seal with that oil. And I make sure to put it from root to tip, and again, smoothing. So when I get to this point, I know I'm ready to twist, because this is rare for me to be able to run my fingers through my hair. So I apply the gel to a whole big section, and then my hair starts to divide into the sections that it naturally wants to, and that's what I use as a guide for twisting. So then I apply more when I'm actually ready to do the twisting, so that I can make sure that everything is nice and smooth and will have some good hold. So I try to make sure the sections are about equal in size. That makes the twist look nice and uniform. So my method is I pull the two sections away from each other as I twist. Sometimes my hair can unravel, so I do this to make sure that it's nice and secure. It also looks really nice doing it this way because it's nice and taut. And then I'm also smoothing each section as I'm twisting continually. So the smoothing combined with separating the two sections while I twist really help to give my hair a ton of shine and make it nice and smooth. And then if I get to any section that needs a little extra finger detangling, I just use my thumb right there to help to get it nice and smooth. So this is that first twist all done. It's nice and skinny right now, but of course it'll plump as it dries. One down, a lot to go. So showing you the finer part of my hair. This is where my looser curl pattern is, and it's also the finer area. And I just wanted to show you a little bit closer, since this one isn't all the way in the back, how I twist this section. So I use my thumb to part and then just start doing that method of twisting the two sections away from each other as I twist so that it's nice and tight. But of course this process is very gentle. It gets the look that I was really heavy-handed, but just doing it this way makes it nice and secure, which I love. It's surprising how these little tweaks can make such a big difference in the end result. So we're going away from the sections, finger detangling if needed. My hair could be detangled in 2 seconds later, you guys. So about a quarter of the way done. I see some light at the end of the tunnel at this point. Not much, but a little bit. But as you can see, we still got a lot of work to do. Alrighty, so I don't use combs or anything to part my hair. What I will do is I will just tackle it as best I can to divide everything into manageable sections so that I can start that whole smoothing process. So I just follow what my hair naturally wants to do, the natural parts that it wants to go in, and I don't really see them until I start to really apply a moisturizer and start to detangle a little bit more. Then those parts become a little bit more apparent because my hair is so thick. I have to really take my time. So this, and then as you can see, after I do that, the hair just naturally starts to separate, and then I just divide the type of size that I'm going for with the twist, and it makes everything so much easier once I've done that. So then I just pull from one of those little sections. And as you can see, in between some of the sections, the curls are already separating like they normally would. So I just kind of follow that as a guide and then go from there. And then this is my trouble section. This is where I get the most tangles. So I make sure to take care of this really well, moisturizing it and detangling it. Whew, front section almost done. So I use my Uncle Funky's That Are Curly Magic for this section because it has a bit more hold and the front section frames your face. So I want those twists to look extra nice. And also this section has a looser curl pattern. So I also wanted to use a heavier gel for that reason as well, to make sure that it wouldn't unravel. So I'm just dividing things up. And I get great results using my HG gels for this process also, but they're kind of pricey, so I'd rather use these more lightweight, runnier gels. They do great for this type of style. They're not good for me for wash and goes, but for these smaller twists, they are fantastic. So for the front section of my hair, I actually do the twists at a side angle because they're going to be framing my face, so I kind of keep that in mind when I'm actually twisting them. So I'm going to actually start twisting sideways to get that look that I'm going for. And because the hair is a little bit looser here, I'm doing them a little bit smaller so that they won't unravel. And I'm giving this twist the meanest side eye. I'm so hungry and over this process at this point, y'all. I was so tired. I was like, look. And that's how I did everything in that last section off to the side, and we are all done. I was so excited. I could finally eat and rest. I was like, I just ran a marathon. It felt like that anyway. So here's everything from the back. Being very, very meticulous with all that smoothing and detangling definitely paid off. Everything looks so nice and uniform. Here's everything all dry. As you can see, the twists have plumped up. Really, really cool, and they've shrunken up a little bit, which I love. So I've gotten a little bit more volume back from them being completely dry. And that is the tutorial. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.